Hi, I'm Taylor. This is Guitar Theory for Beginners. So whether you just picked up your first guitar today, or you've been riffing around for a while trying to figure this guitar thing out, the major scale is a great starting point. A scale is a series of notes ordered by pitch. There are a bunch of different scales, however the major scale is the cornerstone of all Western harmony. So let's get into it. Let's look at the pattern for a major scale. A major scale is made up of two intervals, a whole step and a half step. A whole step is when I go from a fret, and I skip a fret, to the next fret. A half step is when I play a note and go to the very next fret a half step away. Whole, half, whole, half. I learned that in high school and I never looked back. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Watch as I play the guitar, you'll notice that pattern. Now you can do this on all the strings for practice. That almost sounded like Thunderstruck. Alright, now since sliding up and down the neck with one finger is totally noob style, let's learn how to play in position. On most instruments, there's only one place to play that one note. Like on the piano, middle C is one key. But on the guitar, you'll find the same notes in multiple spots. We still want to play whole, half, whole, half, but we're gonna do it in position on multiple strings using multiple fingers. So I'm gonna play it first and then I'll explain as we go. So you notice instead of going from the 4th fret to the 5th fret, I went from the 4th fret of that E string to the open A string, because the open A string and the 5th fret of the E string are the same note. If you're not already, try using a pick. The slower you play it for now, the better, I promise. There are 7 different notes in each major scale. The 8th note is known as the octave. You'll notice that open E and the 12th fret E are 1 octave from each other, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notes away. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We've heard it our whole lives. While there are 7 notes in a major scale, there's actually 12 notes. Let's look at those notes here. That is known as the chromatic scale. You don't have to memorize it, it's not going to be on the test, but that's the chromatic scale. You'll probably notice that next to some of those notes, you saw a bunch of symbols, hashtag, lowercase b. Those are the sharps and the flats. The sharps make a note go up a half step, and the flats make them go down a half step. The note called G sharp / A flat is called an enharmonic note, meaning it has 2 names. They're going to be the same pitch, and so E is just known as E. But G sharp can also be known as A flat. So let's go over that one more time. If you take a G note up a half step, it's a G sharp. If you take an A note down a half step, it's an A flat. There are 2 spots in the chromatic scale where there's not going to be enharmonic notes. That's between E and F and B and C. Now it's time to go over the single best exercise that has ever been given to me. After I give you this and you study it, you're gonna understand the major scale 100%. There's no note in between E and F, and there's no note in between B and C. If you learned anything, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff for me. It really helps the algorithm out, as you know. Write out C to C. So write out C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now write in the pattern whole, half, whole, half, underneath the notes to show you the steps. Okay, let's cross-check our scale with the piano keys. So C to D is 2 notes away, it's a whole step. D to E, 2 notes away, that's another whole step. E to F, that's a half step. Remember, there's no enharmonic note in between E and F. F to G, that's a whole step. So far, so good. G to A, whole step. A to B, whole step. B to C, half step. Boom, we got a major scale. I started with C because it has 0 enharmonics, so no sharps, no flats. Super easy. All you have to do is what we've done so far, and that's your scale. Okay, so now you're gonna circle the 5th scale degree. So C is the 1st scale degree, D is the 2nd, E is the 3rd, F is the 4th, and G is the 5th. So we're gonna circle the 5th, which is G, and now we're gonna write out the G scale. First, write out G to G, perfectly underneath and in line with the C to C. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let's check on the piano to make sure everything looks right. So G to A is a whole step, we're good. A to B is a whole step, so far so good. B to C is a half step, because no enharmonic note in between B and C, just like E and F. C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step, so far so good still. E to F is a half step, that's kind of not right. F to G is a whole step, so they're reversed, we've got them switched. Okay, so now we have whole, half, half, whole, which is incorrect. If we take the first wrong interval, which is the E to F is a half, we need it to be a whole. So what we have to do is take that E to F half step and extend it to E to F sharp, 2 notes away for it to be a whole step. So E to F sharp is now a whole step, which leaves us with F sharp to G, which is a half step. Now we've got our whole, half, and the world is good. So that's the exercise. I want you to take it as far as you can take it, meaning circle the 5th again. In this case, it's gonna be D. Write out D to D. Go through the scale, notice that the half steps and the whole steps are in the wrong places. Maybe add a sharp to the F, now you've got 2 sharps. Once you understand this exercise, maybe you do 3 or 4 more and you'll be like, oh, and you'll see what happens. Well, that's all for now. I hope this exercise showed you the beauty and the relevance and the importance of the major scale. Once you've learned this, you'll get it in your ears. You can learn all the other scales. You can learn intervals. You can learn triads. You can learn 4-note chords such as 7th chords or minor chords or major 6 chords. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Guitar is the best. Don't ever question it.